You know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. I'm here. I'm going to tell you about, I'm responding to the comments from my road trip. I feel like responding to some of my troll comments from the road trip. That's what I'm going to call them. Troll comments from the road trip. All right, so sit back, enjoy the ride, and let's ride, man. All right. All right, you know what it is. Unique Mecca Audio, man. I did a video on, my road trip. Let me show you how ridiculous some of these rat bastard trolls and flip-flop wearing in public dudes are. That's why I give them a gunshot. Because that's all they need. Back in the day, we had an old saying, when a dude was a rat, you know what I mean? Or a dude did some old grimy shit. You just say, that nigga needs killing. You know what I mean? And that's how these trolls and rats that don't know how to just stay in their position. That's why I say just admit who you are and stay in your lane, and we gonna stay in our lane. Now, I did a joint about driving down to Atlanta, hitting Virginia, Charlotte and Atlanta, and back up to DC. Somebody had the nerve to say, you're not in prison anymore, because I was talking about the car being cluttered and my mind not being right, my chi not being right. You have to free your mind in order for you to follow. Now, let me say this. Whoever thinks, you understand? I'm not even going to say their names because I'm not into that, because maybe they was just being funny and, I like humor. But I'm going to answer that, just so you understand. Now, whoever is out here thinking that this world is safe, you know what I mean? You got life all the way messed up. I'm going to tell you why. I was at the Rock the Bells joint, and I was at the Yankee Stadium 50th anniversary yesterday for Mass Appeal. Big shout out and round of applause to Nas. All right. Calm down, y'all. Calm down, man. Calm down. Didn't I say calm down? Thank you. Now, this is what I'm saying, I was at this joint yesterday. They had police everywhere. Everywhere I turned, there was police. You know what I mean? And the people that I was with, they're telling me, I'm telling them, I'm moving with my son and his man. So I wasn't here for my son, because when I got locked up, he was 8. He lived with me before I got locked up. So I was the best father I could be, even with the lack of knowledge that I had on being a father. But he missed, the survival part. I'm telling him and his man, stay with me. You know what I mean? When I move, you move. You know what I mean? When I stop, you stop. When you stop, I'ma stop. When you move, I'ma move with you. If you got to go to the bathroom, I'm going to go to the bathroom with you. And they're telling me, Dad, it ain't that serious. You don't see all these police out here? And I'm like, yo, if the police thinks it's that serious that they need to be out there, how could I put my guards down that it's safe, like I'm going to put my life in the hands of the police? I put my life in nobody's hands but God. So I don't depend on the thousands of police they had to do nothing. So I had to explain to my son that you see all these police out here because they anticipating everything. They have, I don't even want to say the words because this is YouTube. They got dogs out there that sniff everything. You know what I mean? Even kaboom. You know what I mean? So now, if they got that out there, that means they anticipating that. They hoping that they don't have that. They're praying that they don't have that. But bottom line is, they on point. Now, why is the police on point? And these trolls in the comment is telling me not to be on point. But the police is anticipating everything. When I went to Atlanta, when I went driving up the highway, there was police up and down the highway because they anticipating everything. When I got to Atlanta to the park, you know what I mean? They had mad police all the way in Atlanta. They anticipated something going on. But the people that I'm with, they telling me, oh, ain't nothing going to go on. The police is here. So there you go, putting your life in another man's hands again. Then you get the fake troll rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public suckers that'll sit there and say something real stupid. You know what I mean? They say something real stupid like, oh, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But God gave you the will to think, to survive, to stay away and avoid problems. Now, how could you sit there and say that this is not prison, this is not the 80s, but yet the police is out there anticipating everything? Y'all listen to what I'm saying, young and old. Like I said, my channel is a gangster channel. So obviously, once in a while, we get a couple of trolls and, you know, and no disrespect, lames, you know, that come on the channel. Now, my thing is, when you trolls or lames come to a gangster channel, you know, just sit back and enjoy the content. If you don't like the content, change the channel. No one is forcing you. And I'm telling you, trolls and rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public dudes, straight up, any stupid comment I don't like, anything I don't agree with, this is my channel and I will delete you and block you. And you have to create another troll channel, which I know you like to do because you have nothing better to do anyway. But anyway, for somebody to say that I'm paranoid because I lived to be 59 years old during the roughest time in America, running up and down like a fool selling keys in every state. You even got suckers saying that I didn't do this, didn't do that, but I went to every state and got love. The streets speak for me, so I don't have to defend anything. My paperwork speak for me, and that's what the problem is. It's like, I'm too real. You know what I mean? Oh, you know, we got to tear them down, you know, because they got the crab in the barrel syndrome. So I want you youngins and elders to understand this. You always going to have someone trying to bring you down when you go up. Every time you make a step further up that ladder, anticipate a sucker trying to bring you down. And 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be a stranger. It's going to be somebody close to you. Like the trolls that I have, those are probably the same people that stand up next to me every night, every day when I go out. But they won't say anything in my face. But they'll run home to their keyboard or they'll slide off to the corner store and hit their phone in a comment, you know what I mean, and say, oh, you's a sucker, and then come back and say, yo, what's up, family? I just went to go get a Heineken. You know, those are the ones that's going to go at you, the ones closest to you. You understand? But the streets don't lie. You know, that's one thing. I wrote a poem when I was in prison called The Streets. You know what I mean? The streets stay the same. It has everything and everyone, you know, positive and negative in it. And it's like a circle, you know, it's a cipher. Everything is within that cipher. It's not going to go away. So a decade go by, 2 decades go by, 3 decades go by, you still have suckers in that cipher because it's in the air. It's embedded in them. You know what I mean? So now they say I'm paranoid because of my road trip explanation. That's how I see it. They say, you know, I'm not in prison anymore. Now, let me say this so you fully understand, because y'all don't understand. This is why I say that I don't have a problem with a dude telling. I got a problem with a dude telling and saying he didn't tell and trying to fool the masses to be around the men that's of honor that don't roll with that. You understand? Just tell me who you are. Then I know how to deal with you. I'm not going to harm you. I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm not going to badmouth you. But we need to know who each other are so that we know what roles we could play in our lives. You know what I mean? Now, you rat bastards don't play no role in my life. Let's get that straight. But at least I would know to stay away from you and give you respect from afar. So this is where we at. You know what I mean? Because they try to say, oh, he don't like this, he don't like that. No, I don't like rats. I'm going to keep it 100. I don't like rats. But I don't have anything against them. I don't like cockroaches either. You understand? I don't even kill the cockroaches when I was in the projects. I wouldn't even kill the roaches. So I'm not going to kill you rats. You know what I mean? So let's stop it. And I don't have nothing bad to say about you guys. Just stay in your lane. When you come to my channel, fall back, don't touch your keyboard, and just enjoy the show. Or just hit your little joint and go to another channel. That's all I ask. And yes, let me answer that about me being institutionalized. I'm not in prison anymore. I'm stuck in the 80s because I'm paranoid. I'm this and that. Yes, I'm all of the above. I have what the soldiers call PTSD or whatever initials they want to put on it, because I came up doing a war zone from in the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, and then went into prison when they threw all of us off the street in the prison. I'm talking about, I may have been one of the biggest on the East Coast, but then they threw me in the prison with dudes that were the biggest from the South, biggest from the Midwest, biggest from the West, you know what I mean? Biggest from other countries. I was even with the dudes, and I didn't even tell these stories yet. That's what I'm saying. My content is crazy. I was even in the prison with the dude from, what's that, the Somalians. You know what I mean? What's that, Captain Phillips, where they took over the ship? I was with these dudes. I watched a dude come in, couldn't speak nothing but Arabic, and next thing you know, every 5 minutes he's calling you a nigger, because those were the first words he learned, because that's what we chose to teach him. You know what I mean? But yes, I'm paranoid. I'm schizophrenic. You know what I mean? I'm burnt out. You know what I mean? I'm all of the above. You try growing up doing that era and then being thrown in a cage like behind me for 26 years. And if you sit here in front of me and tell me that you're normal, or you are saying you are actually certifiably crazy, I know I'm screwed up. You know what I mean? I know I'm screwed up. When I go out, I'm watching my back, I'm watching my side, I'm watching everything. But that's how I survive. If y'all don't understand that, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? But one thing for sure, two things for certain, I'm still alive. I lost a lot of my comrades. I lost my own brother, my twin brother, my brother. We was raised as twins. I lost my brother. I lost Tom Slaughter. I lost, from Virginia. I lost Jay from D.C. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, I lost so many people, comrades that I loved and still love, because they'll live on forever. So many I've lost. And that let me know to always stay on point. That's why I'm so hard on you flip-flop wearing in public dudes. Because if a car is speeding and lose control, or just want to be a nut trying to break a yellow light that's getting ready to turn green, red, something simple, you know what I mean? And you got to get out the way. You're falling all out your flip-flops, looking stupid, and might even get hit by the car. You know what I mean? So why would you wear flip-flops in public? Because someone told you it was cool, but yet you can't defend yourself? Come on, my dude. Like, where are we really going with this? But I'm paranoid because I'm playing chess in my mind, where I know when I go out, I'm going to get in my car while I'm sitting here. I know today I'm going to go out, I'm going to get in my car, I'm going to start the car, I'm going to back out the driveway. You understand? I'm going to drive down the street, get on the highway, stop, get gas, and in between there might be a police out there, it might be a kid running across the street. So I'm thinking of all of this before it go on. Because your mind is not programmed to survive on a militant level. Don't try and downplay minds, because I know how to survive. Look how I just came home. I'm on the YouTube. I'm doing so good that even my best friends attack me. You know what I mean? Even my best friends attack me. You know what I mean? But, that's what happened when you move up the totem pole. You're going to have all kinds of crabs coming out the barrel trying to grab you to pull you back down with them, because we all started out as bottom feeders being in the ghetto. Some of us made it out, some of us didn't. But as we make it out, they're going to be right there on our heels trying to pull us back in. My thing is, no other races is doing this. I know y'all heard that before. No other races is doing this. You know what I mean? But us blacks have to stop this. We are all created equal, and we all have the same will, power, and desire to succeed in life. It's up to if we put that energy behind it or not. Yes, I'm certifiably crazy after 3 decades on the street. And then 2.5 decades in a cage amongst a bunch of killers. I was with, the Unabomber. Could you imagine being with the Unabomber? Y'all seen it on the news. Like, y'all don't even know who it is because they done forgot about it. You do something crazy, you go to jail, they forget about you. But I was with the Unabomber. I was with King Blood. I was with Larry Hoover. I was with Delroy Uzi. I was with Matula Shakur. You understand? I mean, come on. Should I keep going? You understand? And let's not forget, the big homie, Pappy Mason, because he's a stand-up man. Y'all can hate me for saying that. I'm just keeping it 100 from a street perspective. He's a stand-up man that honored the street code. Did a lot of things I didn't agree with. Let me say that off the record. I didn't agree with a lot of things he did. But bottom line is when the Grim Reaper came, he knew to shut the F up. And that's why I'm telling the youth, don't get involved in the streets so you don't have to be put in that situation. There's no justification for telling. Because there is really no justification for hitting the streets. So if you choose to hit the streets, know that you're not supposed to tell. That's why I'm telling you, don't go to the street because you're all ready to tell. So just stay in your lane so you don't have to be put in that situation. You understand? And then people say because, I let it be known, my Cash App is on the screen, da-da-da-da. You understand what I'm saying? You already know. This is a hustle. Everything is a hustle. Everything we do in life is to elevate to the next level. Y'all sit here and watch me every day and want to watch me for free, but yet you pay your subscription for Netflix, Showtime, Stars, you know what I mean? But when a black man trying to do something, oh, he's a finesser, he's Reverend Ike. Stop it, y'all. This crab in the barrel syndrome, start a channel, put out good content, and get your own Cash App. Every YouTuber has a Cash App, bro. They scared to ask for it. I'm trying to show them that this is, your entitlement if you're giving good content and your viewers have something extra to spare. If they don't, I say just give me an emoji, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and at least when you get a couple of dollars, you know what I mean, go buy my book. A Roaring Harlem at roaringharlem.com, the same title.com in Google. But that's what this is. Everything is a hustle, man. You know what I mean? So I don't understand how people say I'm burnt out because I'm hustling. I come out of prison. I'm on YouTube. I talked to a young man today that got a prison channel. This how real men do. I talked to 2 young men today that's on a YouTube prison channel. I talked to Banky Pound and I talked to Bill Feasy. You see, I shout other brothers' names out. So y'all go check out Banky Pound and Bill Feasy. You know what I mean? I talk to these brothers, and Banky Pound sends me posts, and I put it up in my story. And, suckers, trolls, rat bastards, and flip-flop wearing in public dudes, they think that if you're on YouTube, you're in competition with each other. No, that's just the suckers. That's all the above I just mentioned. If we on YouTube, yo, listen, I might watch Netflix, don't see nothing there I like, or might have found something I like and watch it, and then I'm going to turn to Stars, and then I might, turn to HBO or Cinemax or BET or whatever, So it's enough money for everybody because everybody have different things they want to watch. And after they watch one of my videos, they might want to see, Bill Feasy or Banky Pound, Or my man St. Laz. I like St. Laz too, or 10 Toes Down. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, this is where we at. You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch more that I watch, so whatever I didn't say, don't think that is, being disrespectful. I'm just trying to keep the joint moving. But I'm saying we have to work with each other. I talk to 10 Toes Down and I tell them, listen, I call other YouTubers, right? And I said, yo, this is what I do. Because I'm old school. I call other YouTubers and I say, yo, I got 60,000 subscribers, figure out a way you could get in here to get some of that. You understand what I'm saying? Figure out a way you could get in my kitchen and eat off my plate on my table. So there's no need for someone to feel like they need to go up there to eat my back out to get views. My phone number's on the screen. I answer my phone. I talked to LB from Philly yesterday. I talked to so many people on my phone, and LB called me when I was, at the concert. I was getting ready to leave the concert because I left early because it was just too long, at Yankee Stadium. When he called me, I answered the phone at 1:32 in the morning, and he bugged out. LB, put in the comments how that conversation went. 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm answering the phone, for a subscriber. That's how loyal I am. You know what I mean? And we had a wonderful talk, So that's why my number is on the screen. I answer my phone. If I'm busy or I'm in the hood where I got to watch my back, and as these trolls and rat bastards say, I'm being paranoid because I'm trying to stay alive in a mean city. You know what I mean? Then that just means that I'm busy watching my back while I don't answer. Then just text me and I will respond, when I get home, laid back, smoke a joint, relax. You understand? So this is what it is. We have to work together. And yes, I am paranoid. Yes, I am certifiably crazy. And yes, I am burnt out. Period. I can admit who I am. And that's how I know how to correct who I am. The first thing they tell you at AA and all that is you have to stand up and, say, my name is such and such, I'm an addict. You know what I mean? My name is Unique Mecca Audio. I'm burnt out. I'm certifiably crazy. I'm paranoid. I watch my back. I don't trust nobody. I wouldn't even let my 7- and 8-year-old sons sit behind me in my car when I'm driving because I don't trust them. You see how burnt out I am? That's what it is to y'all. But they living with their mothers and their mothers' boyfriends, or you understand? So therefore, when do I know that the mother's boyfriend is not going to try and turn my son against me to take this rope that's around my hat and choke the crap out of me? You see how burnt out I am? But one thing for sure, 2 things for certain. My black ass still alive. My black ass still alive. And it's messed up. That's why I tell the youngins, don't get involved in the street, because I don't want you burnt out like me. I don't want you paranoid like me. And I don't want you certifiably crazy like me, where you can't even trust your seed to sit behind you. A lot of y'all can't understand this. I know that. I'm just too real. And I know I'm a little aggressive, you know what I mean? Because even when I was in the skills program where I was living with mentally challenged kids, the psychiatrists in the program, they put me in the program and they told me that I was, verbally aggressive. You know what I mean? And I didn't know what it was at first. But yes, I'm verbally aggressive because I attack at all means if I feel threatened. But I'm not emotional. Listen, my man Mike came on here the other day and he said something. I'm going to do a video about that maybe later on today and put it up this week. Listen, man, this is how it is, so y'all understand. I'm going to say it again for the rat bastards, trolls, and flip-flop wearing in public suckers. You know what I mean? I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out. Let's get that straight. You know what I mean? So you don't have to tell me that. I know that. I'm paranoid. I'm all of that. And I'm not being sarcastic. Let me look in the camera so y'all understand how serious I am. I'm burnt out. I'm paranoid. I'm a schizophrenic. And I don't trust no one. So I'm telling you that. I don't have nothing against a rat. You know what I mean? I don't like the rats. You understand? But I'm not going to attack the rats. And what I was getting at with what my man Mike said was that, plain and simple, if it's not worth killing over, it's not worth fighting over. So if it's not worth killing over, it's not worth arguing over, because that would lead to violence that could lead to murder. And I don't want to get murdered, and I don't want to murder anyone. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all some real game. That's why I be saying that, my Cash App is on the screen, man. My Cash App is Unique Mecca Hall no number one in my name, and make sure you hit the logo and it says it was created in 2020. I want to thank everybody that been representing and sending me the cash apps, because there's people that still respect the game and respect the hustle. You understand? And then you got suckers who sit back, can't come up with content. You know, big shout out to Hassan, man. Hassan, that's my man in Philly. You know, I talked to last night. I talked to him at 2 o'clock in the morning. Didn't ask the man for a cash app, didn't ask him for a dime. And the first thing he said was, I'm going to shoot you a cash app, big homie, because I can't believe you answered the phone. You don't know how honored I am that you answered the phone, Unique Mecca Audio. I said, you don't know how honored I am that you called, because that means that I'm reaching you, so none of this is in vain. You understand what I'm saying? We got Robert LaBrille, you know, Alberto Green, Dion Page, Albert G. Brown, you know what I mean? Associates, Saria Jr., Derek Skinner, big shout out to you, my brother. Jamal Hanberry, Delvin Gutierrez, might be saying it wrong, WGLG, Nameless. I can keep going on, because there's people out there that respect that the game is to be sold and not told. So I'm going to teach you YouTubers that can't understand, you know, what hustling is, how to hustle, you know. If you give somebody something, you understand, they're going to give you something back, period. Now, a lot of y'all say, no, listen, if you give someone something, they will give you something back, meaning, I'm going to take it to the smallest degree. If you give somebody love, they're going to give you love back. If you give somebody respect, they're going to give you, you know, respect back. So if you give somebody a life-changing jewels and lessons like what I'm giving you here, all I ask you to do is give me an emoji, a like, a subscribe, and if you could afford it, give me a cash app. I don't care if it's $1. Call it what you want. Dude said I'm a finesser. No, I'm not a finesser. I'm a hustler, my nigga. And you's a sucker for even thinking that. Because you're so busy worrying about what I'm doing instead of creating your own lane. I came out of prison after 26 and a half years, went in 93, came out in 2020, and I created a lane here on YouTube that y'all was already at. And I'm up to 60,000. I put my number on the screen so you could call me. If you have any issues, suggestions, need any help, want to help me or whatever, I put my number on the screen. So why would somebody want to go on YouTube? You know what I mean? Come on, my dude. Stop it. I'm not going to give you that energy that you want. Listen, it costs for everything. And it even costs for you to rent space in my head with the negativity. And I'm not going to let you do it, because you're dead broke and you're dumb as a barrel of rocks. And that's why you're trying to attack me instead of trying to unite with me. Let's unite. That's it. But anyway, you know, that's where we at, man. So, you know, now that we got it crazy, you know, certified that I'm crazy, you know what I mean? Let me see. They even said that I was disappointed in my partner that I rode down with in the highway. No, I wasn't disappointed in him. You know what I mean? Because I know he wasn't raised like I was raised to be on point, like I was on point. I was speaking to him. Let me show you how that video came about. This is how I create content, so maybe some of you suckers and rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public suckers would take my advice and put out better content. Now, after we hung out, you know what I mean? I wasn't satisfied with the way he was moving. So I sat him down, because he's my cameraman. I said, turn the camera on. I'm going to talk to you. And I want to record this because I'm sure there's other people out there like you. See how I create content? So I sat down and I explained to him how the whole trip went from my point of view, because he's seeing it from his point of view. Just like when I say that, you know, I wouldn't tell on my own brother while he was dead to get out of prison. That's where my honor and principles lie. You understand what I'm saying? Now, someone else that do that, I don't have an issue with them. But you stay over there, and I'm going to stay over here, and I'm not going to badmouth you. I'm not going to voice my opinion on it. I'm just going to tell you what Unique would do. So I broke down how I viewed it because he's not in my mindset and my survival set. So I took my time and I broke it down to him, and the man enjoyed it. He enjoyed it so much. I was making it for him. He said, yo, let's edit this and put this out because you dropped a lot of jewels in there that I think these youngins could really use. And that's all I did. And then from that, somebody told me I'm paranoid. Yes, I'm paranoid. I walked around the prison where I had to carry knives with me every day for 30 years. I walked around the streets in New York, the whole East Coast. I've been out to Chicago and everything when I was on the street. You understand what I'm saying? And I had to carry pistols on me, bulletproof vests. You understand what I'm saying? Come on, I had to do it all. So how could I not be paranoid? How could I sit here and defend that I'm not paranoid? All I could do is accept the truth. Just like when somebody accept the truth you told. And it's not a problem because you have to sleep with yourself at night. If you're uncomfortable with what you did, and you can't sleep at night, I'm not going to allow you to reach into my headspace and pull me out of my comfort zone because I could sleep at night because I did what was right for me under my principles. You create your own principles, and if you can deal with it, home do law, you're good. And that's where I'm at. I've been watching another brother. I done plugged Bill Feezy and Banky Pot. There's another brother that, do these joints. If anybody out there in Texas, tell OG Percy to contact me. I like that dude. And see, I'm not going to sit here and badmouth him and this and that and then expect him to, say my name in a response for me to get views. Instead, I'm going to say, big bro, I like what you're doing, and we need to collaborate and do something together so that we could both share our views, viewers, subscribers, and everything else, and we could blow up together. That's how this old timers, man. I'll be 60 next year. I know I look good, but I'll be 60 next year. I'm a 60-year-old man talking to youngins by age and youngin by mind, because some is older, and even my age and older, that, wasn't put through the same trials and tribulations I was put through, and that don't make me better than them. Let me say that for the record. A man that stayed out of jail and never got involved with selling drugs and never broke the law, that's the man-on-man time. But when you choose to hit the street and break the law, then there's rules and codes that go with being a man-on-man time when you want to be a criminal or a gangbanger or a stick-up kid or a scammer. And they even say in the Bible, I know all of y'all heard this. I know all of y'all heard this that I'm about to say. Want for your brother what you'll want for yourself. Remember that? We all heard that sometime or another doing life when we was younger, and now we're done. Want for your brother what you'll want for yourself. I got 60,000 subscribers. I want my brothers to get some of that 60,000. I want to make it, to Hollywood and be like Diddy and Jay-Z and 50 Cent and all these big guys. But I'm not going to come up here and badmouth them to try and get views by putting their name in a comment and saying negative things about these gods of their game. But it's sad that our people have to do this, man. It's very sad. I mean, I hope this video helps some people to understand that we got to come together, man. We got to come together. If somebody say something on YouTube about, computers, technology, something I don't know about, I'm not going to run on YouTube and try and discredit them. Oh, you're talking about he's lying, he's capping, he's this, he's that. Come on, man, stop being a sucker, my nigga. If you don't agree with it, just go somewhere else. That's it. If you don't agree with it, go somewhere else. You can change the channel to get off the channel the same way you change your channel to get on the channel. That's it. But we don't need to say, listen, I don't talk bad about nobody on my channel. because I got enough content to keep you here. I have enough content to bring you here and keep you here. Some people don't, so they scroll the internet looking for anybody that got big numbers. Oh man, he got 200,000. I gotta go with him. Oh, okay, he's Cypher Monkey Cypher. Oh man, he got 500,000. Oh, that, you know, he Cypher Truth. You know what I mean? And they play these games. Stop it. You'll never get anywhere in life. You'll still be right there when all of us continue to blow up even more. You know what I mean? You'll still be right there when everybody else blow up because you're too busy putting your energy into my hustle and you're not reaping my benefits because I'm not going to say your name to help you. Now, for that, I'm getting ready to tap out, man. I just want to tap in, man. Enjoy your Saturday. I'm going to be out on the town. You know, like I said, it is what it is. All right?
Cheers, cheers, the crime.
Out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be whoring uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend it air. He started in uptown, he gon' finish there. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them, cause they the truth them, and bless up to all the rude men.